The date is 23/6/2026. It's evening time on the coast of Grand State. An unusual scene is developing there. A bunch of thunderstorm clouds are approaching the land, turning the whole place dark earlier than usual. Not deadly, but the sight of continuous lightning strikes and the glass shaking thunder are putting up quite a scene for the audience. Most of the people living in the coastal suburban Warrock city continue with their job. After all, some thunder and lightning are expected during the monsoon. Nothing to worry about. But there is one guy staring hard at the clouds. He's just quietly staring at it through a full size glass of his cozy bedroom of a house by the beach. His name is Will Strong, and at present, he is in a unique situation. Will belongs to a vastly rich family whose wealth can buy all the luxuries of the world. Yet, none of it is any use to him. That's because he is paralyzed neck down. The damage is irreparable, is what the doctors had said to him. Actually, they told to his family, believing that Will was unconscious. He wasn't. He heard all of it. That day, all the hope of him recovering died. Will remembers this because he plays these words over and over again in his mind since the day he heard them. The damage is irreparable. But now he is thinking of absolutely nothing. He is simply witnessing the stormy turbulence of nature. Perhaps this is mimicking Will's mental state, which is why his face appears calm. He seems relieved to finally being able to release his frustration of paralysis. Although he has no control over the weather, this is very confusing as to what's going on in Will's mind. It's been 2 hours since Will started watching outside the window, and yet he hasn't even moved an inch. One might assume him to be dead if they don't notice his chest moving up and down due to normal breathing. The room around seems quite luxurious with the most advanced entertainment equipment, a cozy bed, and a large display of photographs that tell the story of Will's adventurous past. An overachiever, risk taker, best sportsman, adventurer. The photos of him striking a goal on the football field, planting a flag atop an ice cold mountain, diving in the deep blue sea, and many more thrilling adventures indicate that he lived a very active life. That is until his body gave up on him. Well, there are some people who like to stay in isolation, sitting in one place, and just love to be lost in their thoughts. Will is not one of them, and yet he has to. What can I say? We live in a very unfair world. This is what Will believes, which is why he feels like the world should feel the same wrath in form of an approaching storm. Is he just staring at the storm, or is there more to it than we know? Soon it gets proper dark after the setting sun. Since there is no other source of light, the room is dark. Will is still there with a steady gaze looking outside. If someone is to enter the room this instant, they won't even know about his presence. He can only be seen when a lightning bolt lights up the room momentarily. Then, suddenly at one point, there's a beep sound and music starts to play. A piece of soothing music that Will seems to like. That's because for the first time he shuts his eyes to focus on that tune. Things seem to be returning back to normal. Will is now reacting to the tune. His facial muscles are moving. He is smiling. Coincidentally, the storm outside the window is becoming less scarier. There's no more lightning and thunder. The clouds seem to be slowly dissipating. It's as if the goddess of storms simply switched it off. Things outside return to normal, so does Will inside his house. That's when the room's light is turned on and immediately Will is cut off from the view outside. A nurse enters the room and drives Will away in his wheelchair for his daily evening routine. I can't help but feel sad for Will. This is what has become of Will's life after that silly yet deadly accident. Having gotten used to his limited capability to enjoy life, he doesn't mind sitting still alone in his room for hours. That's his story from now till the end? Is that it? I thought I noticed something strange back there. Somehow the storm outside was mimicking Will's thoughts. Could it be? Is it possible that Will, a person who has no control over his body, is somehow able to control the weather? I guess we'll have to wait and watch him for more evidence. Before leaving, though, let me give you just one factual piece of evidence. It has been observed that since Will's accident, the city he lives in has reported more recurring storms throughout the year, not just in monsoon. Subscribe.